Season 1 of Demon Slayer just ended recently. Well, not that recently actually, but I watched it recently, so that's why I'm making this video right now. Now I know this is not the usual kind of video that I'm used to making and you're used to seeing on my channel, but anime has been a really big part of my life, and I personally get a lot of motivation from watching anime. But of course, we're not here to talk about anime today. Well, actually we are, but specifically Demon Slayer. Now, Demon Slayer has a wonderful range of characters, but today we're gonna look at Tanjiro Kamado, who is the protagonist of the story, and I think there's a lot we can take away from him and learn from him, and that's the inspiration for today's video. Now, if you haven't watched Demon Slayer yet, I would highly recommend you not to watch this video because, needless to say, there are going to be spoilers ahead. Some minor, and some may be very major. And I would say just go watch the whole series and then come back here and then watch this video. And I tell you, you will not regret it. It's an amazing show. So if you're still here, I'm assuming that you've watched the show, or you're just a complete moron. As I was watching the show, the one character trait about Tanjiro that stood out to me the most, and I think you would agree with me on this one, was his kindness. Tanjiro is a very gentle soul and extremely kind to everyone he encounters, and people like to be around him because his spirit gives people a sense of warmth. Kindness needs to be cool. We make everything cool but kindness and compassion. Tanjiro makes kindness cool. In the first few episodes, it was clear that Tanjiro is unable to resent anyone, including demons. When he first encountered a demon, or, second demon, he was able to immobilize the demon with the help of his trusty hatchet. However, Tanjiro just couldn't bring himself to end the demon's life. He has empathy for even an enemy that just tried to eat him. Another great example is that time he faced the demon who killed Urokodaki's students. After beheading the demon, he felt sympathy towards the demon instead. These are just two of the many instances, and we're sure there will be many more in the future. But don't get his kindness mistaken. You mess with any of the people he cares about, and you can be sure that he's gonna come for your head. In fact, his whole purpose of being a demon slayer is predicated on protecting his younger sister, Nezuko. But Tanjiro is actually protective of anyone who's weak or being bullied, even if he doesn't know them. And a perfect example of this is during the final selection. If there's anything you should do in your life, it's to protect your loved ones. Always be willing to be on the front lines for your people. This is what's going to make you a great leader. If you can't protect your loved ones, I suggest you learn how. Tanjiro has only one objective, and that is to turn Nezuko back into a human again, and also to beat the crap out of Michael Jackson. The only reason he became a demon slayer is to help him achieve his goal. You have to want your goals badly if you want to meet them. Don't let anybody else set your goals for you, and understand why your goal is important to you, and you'll have a better focus. You can't make it if you don't commit. Be prepared to sacrifice and go all in like Tanjiro. That's why it's so important to have a clear vision in life. Your vision acts like your North Star. It prevents you from getting lost. Once you have a vision, you'll automatically start taking actions that will take you closer to your vision, just like Tanjiro. Now, we talked about Tanjiro's kindness, but where does it stem from? It stems from his power of understanding. Understanding is the beginning of wisdom. Tanjiro has a great deal of understanding. The world needs more understanding. Have you ever seen someone complain that someone in their life is too understanding? Of course not, because it's rare for understanding in these streets. You could argue that you actually need more understanding than you need love. After all, you can be loved and still get abused and treated like shit. But if someone understands you, it'll strengthen the bond and the love they have for you, and will be less likely to hurt you. And oftentimes, what prevents you from being understanding is your own ego. If you look at Tanjiro, he doesn't have an ego, so it's relatively easy for him to have an understanding for everyone, no matter their background or where they come from. But we want to go even deeper. But what's even deeper than understanding? Empathy. Tanjiro is what I would call the epitome of empathy. Empathy is the most underrated part of Tanjiro's personality. He's a very empathetic guy, and we know that in his line of work, it could be dangerous, but no matter what, he's always empathetic to situations. But it doesn't stop him from doing his job and killing them. And that's what's so beautiful about his personality. We often see him align his feelings with the feelings that demons have while those demons are dying. Tanjiro uses empathy to see what's causing that demon pain and why they are the way they are. Empathy is how you build connections with people. If you have and utilize empathy, then it will be easier for you to control your emotions. It's the key to helping people, especially people who are depressed. They need empathy more than anything. There is a scene in Demon Slayer that I think is a perfect example of Tanjiro's ability to be able to empathize with others. This is where a guy ends up losing his fiancée to a demon, and seeing that the guy is in total distress, Tanjiro walks up to him and asks him, "Are you alright?" And the guy quite understandably says that, "I've just lost my fiancée. How can I be alright?" After hearing this, Tanjiro tells him that no matter how many people you may end up losing, there is no other choice than to keep on living, no matter how devastating it may be. And the guy kind of snaps and he tells him that, "What can a kid like you know anything about what it feels like?" And as we all know, Tanjiro just holds his hand and gives him a smile, a very painful kind of smile, and then just tells him, "I'll be on my way now." This, right here, is the pinnacle of empathy. We, as the viewers, know exactly what he's been through, and we know for a fact that he's been through way worse than this. But he doesn't go about telling the guy anything about what he's been through. Heck, he doesn't even tell him that, "No dude, I know exactly how you feel." He doesn't say none of that. One of Tanjiro's greatest quality is his honesty, not just towards others, but towards himself as well. This is an important trait that can leave a good or a bad impression. But in Tanjiro's case, it's always a good impression, so he's clearly doing something right. Tanjiro's sense of smell is excellent, and he has also put it to good use. His keen sense of smell helps Tanjiro to track down demons easily. And what can you learn from this? Well, your nose gotta be on point like Tanjiro, so you can smell all the bullshit and stay the hell away from all those toxic people who stink. Tanjiro's good qualities make him an excellent friend to have, and anyone can become friends with him. Well, unless their name is Muzan. Tanjiro is not hesitant to help out anyone, and in fact, he feels extremely sad if he cannot help out his friend. Case in point, when Inosuke was battling the father of the Rui family on his own, Tanjiro was overwhelmed by guilt that he could not help out his friend, even though he had a very legitimate reason. I mean, his hands were more than just full. Also, Tanjiro was really insistent that Inosuke and Zenitsu should learn full breathing in order to become better fighters and capable of fighting stronger foes. He didn't just want to get stronger himself, but he wanted his friends to get stronger with him, making him a very dependable person. And that is why he makes a very good friend. And this is not something that is only limited to his friends. Tanjiro has a very helpful personality, and thus he always looks out for other people in general. In fact, he would set out to sell charcoal to people even when the weather was dangerously unpleasant. Time and again, he would help others with small chores without asking to be paid for them. Tanjiro has always made sure that he lets others know what he's thinking. He's not afraid to speak what he thinks and feels. Case in point, when Nezuko was being tested by the pillars, or Hashira, Tanjiro did not care that he was in the presence of his superiors. Against better judgment, he immediately burst out and attacked one of the pillars. He tried several times to reassure the pillars that his sister was harmless and that she would not attack any human being. However, the pillars weren't swayed by his pleas, and he was given a good thrashing by a couple of them. And after Nezuko proves herself and they're excused, Tanjiro comes rushing back and asks the boss man if he can headbutt the guy, and not just any guy, a Hashira who attacked Nezuko. I mean, what a guy. I don't care who you are, you have to respect that. Tanjiro's ability to evaluate the situation and work accordingly is one of the lessons you should take away from him. He is daring, but not reckless. He doesn't allow his heart to control his mind. His perseverance to overcome any obstacle makes him mentally stronger. And now, for the big one. The following quality is something that is fundamental to any shonen protagonist. You just need to have this quality, otherwise, you're just not qualified. You're not qualified to be a shonen protagonist without this one quality, which is being oblivious to romance. So if you've ever talked to a girl and realized 5 years later that, oh, I think she was into me, then give yourself a gold star because you are qualified to be a shonen protagonist. That's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you liked it. Hit that like button if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one.